It wasn't until my ex saw that the girl I was dating was way less attractive than her that she finally realized I was dead serious about getting married. That's when it hit her. I hadn't come crawling back because I was completely done. Back in the day, I actually felt lucky to have landed someone like Liu Ruyan, gorgeous, loaded, the whole package. After we got married, I basically did everything she asked, but she never once came back to my hometown with me, barely ever visited my mom, and when my mom was in the hospital dying, wanting just one last look at her daughter-in-law and grandson, that wish never got granted. She passed with regrets. I didn't even tell my wife. I went back home alone and quietly took care of my mom's funeral. When I called her to ask for a divorce, the voice that picked up wasn't hers. Sorry, Mr. Zhang, she's exhausted, fell asleep at my place. Please don't disturb her rest. It wasn't until the next morning that she finally sent me a cold, one-line reply. Fine, have it your way. When she got back from her business trip, I didn't do what I always used to, rush over and cling to her. I just kept watching TV. Liu Ruyan, same as always, ordered me to go pick out a nightgown for her, said she was tired. Then she started undressing for a shower. Nobody else was home. She dropped her clothes on the floor one by one, showing off that perfect body and flawless skin. Old me? I wouldn't have been able to help myself. I'd have gone over, latched onto her, tried to please her, offered to scrub her back. But now, I felt absolutely nothing. She finished her shower, opened the bathroom door, and saw me still sitting on the couch watching TV. She frowned a little and asked why I hadn't gone to get her nightgown. Just grab my favorite one, the one with the cartoon characters, come on. When are we getting divorced? I asked. Flat. No emotion. Stop being dramatic. You called so late that night. I was already asleep. Lisa Feng is my assistant. Him answering my phone is no big deal. I already talked to him about it. Stop being so jealous. Jealous? She actually thought I was still jealous. Like the old me. She had no idea my heart had already gone completely cold. Okay, just go get my nightgown. I'm really tired. Get to bed early. Tomorrow we'll go visit your mom at the hospital, Liu Ruyan said. Those words hit me like a knife. I stared at her, cold as ice. Visit my mom? And where exactly do you plan on doing that? At the hospital, obviously. She said it like it was nothing. Oh, and on my trip I actually asked around. There's a really good hospital. We could get your mom transferred there. Better facilities, better care all around. My mom is already gone. I couldn't hold it in. I snapped before she could finish. Liu Ruyan flinched. She stared at me in disbelief like she thought I was making it up. Your mom? Why didn't I know about this? I looked at her. My voice was ice cold. Does it even matter now whether you knew? When she was alive and just wanted to see you and her grandson one last time, you couldn't be bothered. And now you want to visit her? Are you serious right now? My outburst shut her up. She didn't say another word. She quietly walked out of the bathroom and went to the walk-in closet herself. A moment later, she came back wearing my favorite nightgown, the one with the cartoon characters, and stood across the room looking at me. I'm sorry. She said it, then turned and walked back to the bedroom. And I just sat there, chest aching all over again. Her and I, we go way back. High school. Sounds almost funny now. We were in the same class. She was class president. I was her VP. She used to be the top student in the whole class, until one day when I scored just 1 point below her. She came up to me and got in my face. Even if it's just 1 point, I'll always be ahead of you. Same way I'm class president and you're just the VP. I had no idea why she was coming at me like that, but she lit something up in me. My competitive side went into overdrive. I started grinding harder every day, and by 11 p.m. I'd text her, "You asleep yet?" Not because I cared about her, I just wanted to know how hard she was working, so I could push 1 minute harder than her and pull ahead. Turned out she was doing the same thing. She'd text me asking if I was asleep too. Crazy competitive for a girl, honestly. We'd both be up way past midnight. Both of us trying to outgrind the other by just 1 more minute. But you know what they say, too much of anything backfires. No sleep meant dozing off all day. A day or two was fine, but nobody can keep that up forever. Eventually she hit a wall and came to find me. We need to set some ground rules. Lights out at 10:30, no exceptions. No sneaking in extra study time. I gave her a skeptical look. I'm down. I just don't trust you not to cheat. She scoffed. Please, you think I'd stoop to that? If I'm gonna beat you, it's gonna be fair and square. I didn't follow the deal. Every night at 10:30, we'd both text each other saying we were stopping, but I kept sneaking in another half hour, half an hour of extra reading. I always believed that 1 extra minute of effort would eventually pay off. Sure enough, the next test came back. I beat her by 2 points. She was furious. After school, she told me to meet her at the bubble tea place outside campus. The second she walked in, she ripped her test paper right in front of me and threw it in my face, demanding to know if I'd been sneaking in extra study time. I felt a little bad, I admitted it. Yeah, I'd been putting in an extra half hour every night. I figured she'd explode, but she just went silent and walked away. Then came the next mock exam. She still couldn't beat me. She broke down crying right there in the classroom, full-on sobbing. Teachers and classmates were all trying to comfort her. That night she asked me to meet her at the little park. She asked again whether I'd been sneaking extra time. I told her straight up. Yeah, still an extra half hour every night. And that's when she started crying again. Turned out she'd been secretly studying until 1 a.m. every night and still couldn't beat me. We were both so young and dumb back then. I just stood there watching her cry and didn't know what to say. Then came another exam. I tanked it on purpose. Got 2 questions wrong intentionally, just to let her win. It was obvious, though. My teacher called me out in front of the whole class and dragged me to the office. While I was in the office, Liu Ruyan looked at my test paper and figured out I'd thrown it for her. She asked me to meet up that weekend, but when I got there, she was a no-show. Wasn't picking up either. I went looking for her and found her cornered in an alley by two punks. I jumped in without thinking, got the hell beaten out of me, ended up in the hospital. Every day after school, she came to visit me, brought her class notes, and we studied and did homework together right there in the hospital room. We ended up getting into the same college. She made the first move. Girl asked me out. After we got together, that's when I found out she came from money. Like, serious money. The day we graduated, we decided to get married. But her family was dead against it, especially her little sister who looked down on me for being a nobody. Always had something snarky to say. Sometimes she'd straight up call me a gold digger. Said I was only with her sister because of the family's money. But Liu Ruyan and I both knew the truth. What we had started as a real friendship that grew into something more. I didn't even know she was loaded when it all began. I was feeling pretty low about everything. So Liu Ruyan, just to make me feel better and against her family's wishes, secretly grabbed the household registration and went with me to get officially married. When her parents found out, they went ballistic. It wasn't until Liu Ruyan came home with a pregnancy test that they finally had to accept it. But they still looked down on me. I was always the one putting in the effort just to get the cold shoulder. Didn't matter how warm I was. Her family always had something cutting to say. I had zero dignity around them. At first, Liu Ruyan would reassure me and cheer me on. But over time, especially after the baby came, she started pulling away, growing colder, more distant. And then there was whatever was going on between her and her assistant, something nobody could quite explain. I tried to win her back. I got more affectionate, more attentive, went out of my way to take care of her. It changed nothing. It actually made things worse. She started picking at everything. This wasn't right, that wasn't right. Sometimes she'd outright compare me to her assistant and make me feel like absolute garbage. It wasn't until my mom passed in that hospital that I finally gave up completely. That's when I finally accepted it. Whatever pure, real thing we once had faded away a long time ago. That special spark between us, gone. This relationship had gone rotten. There was no reason to keep going. Late that night, I'd gotten used to not sleeping until 11. I didn't go back to our bedroom. I chose to sleep apart. At this point, sharing a bed would have just meant lying next to a stranger. Next morning, me and Liu Ruyan both opened our doors at almost the exact same time. She looked at me, caught off guard. "Why didn't you come to bed last night?" "You really think that's still necessary?" I shot back. Her face darkened. "You're always so petty. You never try to understand where I'm coming from." "I don't understand you?" "When my mom was in that hospital wanting one last look at you and our son, when your assistant picked up and told me you'd fallen asleep at his place, I actually sat there and tried really hard to figure out how to let it go, how to forgive you. I couldn't." I walked straight to the front door, turned around and asked, "Divorce papers. You want to get a lawyer or should I?" Liu Ruyan stood there staring at me. "Whatever, up to you." That weekend I went to a law firm and had them draw up the divorce agreement. Once that was done, I headed back to the apartment. But standing there with my key in hand, I hesitated. I didn't want to go back in there anymore. I pulled the key out and went home. My real home. The place felt hollow. With Mom gone, it was just me now. I dug through a drawer and found some old photos. One of me, my mom, and my son. Mom was beaming, so full of warmth. My son had this little scowl on his face, like he didn't want to be there at all. When my son was born, nobody was happier than my mom. But Liu Ruyan's family just steamrolled everything. They told my mom flat out that the boy couldn't have a future with our side of the family, so he'd take the Liu name. They'd handle everything, his upbringing, his education. My mom, the kid's own grandmother, was allowed one visit a month. My mom was hurt, but every time that one day a month rolled around, she'd light up with excitement. But as the kid grew up, he became just like Liu Ruyan's family, looked down on people with less money, looked down on his own grandmother. I completely lost it over that once. Slapped my son hard, but that just got me ganged up on by their whole family, called me every name in the book. Even Liu Ruyan said I was overreacting, that it was normal for a kid to be distant from a grandma he didn't grow up with. My son had been shaped into something unrecognizable by Liu Ruyan's household. You are who you're surrounded by, and he was surrounded by that every single day. He'd even started acting cold toward me. I figured in his mind, it wasn't just his poor grandma he looked down on, it was his poor dad too. Back in the day, my mom used to brag to everyone about how her son landed a smart, beautiful, wealthy wife. But after the grandson came along, when she should have been even happier, something in her just dimmed. Maybe it was all that built-up heartache. Her health didn't hold out long after that. She left this world way too soon. At 1 a.m, Liu Ruyan called, noticed I hadn't come home. "Where are you? Why aren't you back?" I stayed calm. "I went to a lawyer today, had them draft the divorce papers." Silence on the line for a moment. Then, "Can we not do this?" Those words hit harder than I expected. I thought I was completely over it. But years of history don't just disappear. People are complicated like that, full of contradictions. I didn't say anything. I just hung up. A few days later, she called again. Her mom's birthday was coming up, asked me to stop by. I almost didn't go, but then I looked down at the divorce papers in my hand and figured, might as well. Time to put an end to all of this. Walking into the Liu family estate again, that big house used to make me feel suffocated every single time. But not this time. Maybe it was the divorce papers I was holding, like I was finally free. Nothing holding me down anymore. I showed up late. The place was already packed and lively, everyone celebrating Liu Ruyan's mom's birthday, bringing gifts, saying nice things. The little ones were on their knees begging for red envelopes. When I walked in, people parted to make way. I walked up to Liu Ruyan's mother with the divorce papers in hand. Liu Ruyan and her sister were standing behind their mom. Her white moonlight was there too. My mother-in-law wasn't happy about me showing up late. True to form, she hit me with that same high and mighty attitude. Why are you so late? Do you even respect me as your mother-in-law? Liu Ruyan jumped in to smooth things over, smiling. Mom, relax. I'm sure Zhang Jiheng was just putting together a special gift for you. Wanted it to be a surprise. That's why he's late. Her mother's expression softened just a little. She asked coldly, "So what did you bring?" I smiled faintly and handed her the divorce papers. "This is probably the best gift I've ever given you in all these years. I hope you're finally satisfied." The moment she saw the words divorce agreement on the paper, her face dropped. The whole room went dead silent. Every guest, every relative, all staring at me and Liu Ruyan in disbelief. Liu Ruyan's face turned white as a sheet.